$45 can be open for Anchor today. Echo 427. Notify the PS that there's 4 protesters.
The Echo PS.
Echo 901.
Do they have 4 protesters, 17 Augusta?
Echo 901, you call for PS15.
Yes. The Echo 427 says that there are 4 protesters at 17 Augustus.
Okay.
Shame on Woo! 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 Shame on Woo!
Take 909.
909.
Yeah, I'm not up on Green Street, so I don't know if we need everybody up there. We're just short on cars for the day tour, so if anybody can leave cars there.
Free speech is not a crime! Free speech is not a crime! Free speech is not a crime!
West to the back with the
Free speech is not a crime! It's not a crime! Free speech is not a crime! Free speech is not a crime!
431, Nate is going to
Free speech is not a crime!
so we'll both be at it.
Free speech is not a crime! 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 Free speech is not a crime!
Echo 810, Ocean North.
Free speech is not a crime! 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 Free speech
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
crime!
What's your name?
Nez.
Nez.
Speech is not
Nice
a
to meet you.
crime!
You getting good footage?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna try.
Free speech is not a crime!
21 call.
Free
I
speech
haven't
is
used
not
this
a
in a long
crime!
time. I don't even know if I'm getting good stuff here.
Do the best you can. That's all you gotta do.
Any more specifics on that?
Free speech is not a crime! Free speech is not a crime!
Engine 21, the call came from the police. Reported to be a man down near the bus area.
Wake up, Michelle!
Oh, you got a scanner?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. Got a little bit of everything going on.
Wake up, Michelle! Wake up, Michelle!
I guess they're giving her a wake-up call.
Wake up, Michelle!
It's Antoinette. At the mayor's house, they have 4 protesters. Yeah, so 9 on.
Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime.
Echo Jacob 55 with Northern Moines.
Free speech is not a crime.
No, it's coming in.
Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime.
I'm sorry, who's going to Augustus?
Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime.
Ma'am, did you get me long enough?
Free speech is not a crime.
427, yes, I have you logged on. Good morning.
Fuck your ordinance. 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 Fuck your ordinance.
Lima 421 acknowledged.
Fuck your ordinance. 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 Fuck your ordinance.
17 Ocean North.
Fuck your ordinance. 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 Fuck your ordinance.
Lima Alpha 3 Ocean North, area wide.
Camera on. Fuck your ordinance. 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 Fuck your ordinance.
Be placed under arrest. You understand?
Well, I thought it was a charge. You get $50 charge. Or you get
You
charged.
can be arrested.
It doesn't say anything like that inside.
Well, I'm telling you, you can be arrested. If you don't leave, you're going to be arrested. Ask her if she knows. Okay?
Ask me, I'm here, and the judge dismissed
5
it.
minutes.
What are you doing?
I'm going to lock you up again if you
Under
don't
what
leave.
charges? Okay, judge. Call the judge.
Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge. Call the judge.
Crime. Free speech.
It's not a crime. Free speech is 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 not a crime.
Why is that speech
You're in
protected?
violation of the city ordinance.
Okay. Free
All right?
speech is
I
not a
gave you enough
crime.
time to disperse. You understand it?
983 acknowledged.
You're
No,
targeting, you're
as long as
targeting
you know that you're
a group
violating.
of individuals.
Right.
There were hundreds of people, hundreds of people with megaphones in the streets of Boston over the weekend. Nobody said anything.
No,
Nobody
no,
had
no,
megaphones.
no, as long as you understand.
Ordinance. Fuck your 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 ordinance. Fuck your
Thank you.
Do you need another unit there?
Just one more to go away. We should have 4 to go.
Is that right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
If I had a stupid hat on my head right now, this would all be okay.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
95 phone.
My body, my choice. My child,
My choice.
my child, my choice. My child, my choice.
435.
My child.
Free speech on the line.
435.
Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo!
Shame on Woo.
Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo!
I don't know this
Shame on Woo!
side. Target
Shame on Woo!
side.
Shame on Woo.
Shame on Woo!
Shame on Woo.
Shame on Woo! Shame on Woo!
Free speech is not a crime.
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 Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. Free speech is not a crime. If I leave it on the ground, can you take it?
Why? Nobody will be here.
What?
She won't be here at night. This is forced.
She wants us to come back and deliberately bother the neighbors. And not weird.
Yeah.
Pretty sorry you're bothering them now.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, I guess he doesn't tell. And that may be-
You're all going, right, Taj?
Yeah, well, all 4 of them go into. She'll be going too if she stays.
I'm pressed.
Yes,
I am pressed.
She is pressed.
She's not pressed.
She is pressed. She is. How you gonna tell someone's not pressed?
Right, that's the problem. You should not know
You should know who people are. If you don't know who they are, leave them alone. That's what you should do. If they're not bothering you, you should leave them alone. Freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of everything else.
Okay, all right.
First Amendment. It's all First Amendment.
I've known you for months. We've never been a press.
She's pressed.
in the process of getting accredited as a press. Exactly.
Everybody's, sir, just so you know, everybody's pressed.
Press pass.
There's no such thing as a press pass, sir, just so you know.
Tell you if you're staying out here, you're going to be arrested.
For what?
That's the threat of arrest, so you cannot.
Protest.
No, I'm actually
Sir, I've been recording her all the time. She has not been protesting.
But I know her.
But I don't care if you know her or not. She's not
You don't care.
protesting.
Then
She's not protesting,
I have nothing
sir.
to say to you.
Yeah, I know. You don't like the truth. That's true. I know.
Is it a 24-hour status?
She has not been protesting since she's been out here, sir.
You're so incompetent. You blow my mind every
All
time.
right.
Seriously.
You blow my mind.
You need to read the Constitution.
You need to read the Constitution. You really need
I
to.
know the Constitution.
So do you respect the Constitution?
What is the First Amendment?
You understand?
What is the First Amendment?
He don't know the First Amendment. He don't know.
Free speech.
Free speech.
What else?
Everything
Right.
else. I'm
What
not
else?
arguing law with that. I know what it is.
What else
You're
is it?
violating- You don't.
Yeah, I'm not violating.
Free speech. What else?
Are actually in violation.
Free speech can be regulated by time, place, and manner. The time is 9 o'clock. You
Okay,
can't be
what
in
about religion?
I'm not talking.
You have discretion.
Freedom to assemble.
You have
Freedom to
discretion.
assemble, yeah.
discretion's locked.
Freedom of press.
And the judge's discretion is to let them go. And
Time, place, and manner.
That's up to the judge.
Who determines time, place, and manner?
The city did, yeah.
Does the city determines
Yeah.
time, place, and manner?
This
Is it
a
lawful?
city or has it been overturned, sir? Is it in effect?
Is it
It's
lawful?
in effect. It's lawful.
It's lawful.
Until
Okay.
you get it overturned.
Okay, we're gonna overturn that.
Do
Definitely.
it.
We will.
When you do it,
We
then
definitely
so
will.
what?
Gonna violate free speech in the city of
We're
Boston.
taking care of it.
Free speech has just been violated in the city of Boston. Time, place. So that means that if I wanted to protest, is there a specific place I have to protest?
The
Is it?
Constitution
Is it?
is
Guys are not
time, place.
enforcing the ordinance
Who
that was
determines where you
What?
protest?
I'm not. Listen, you're arguing the ordinance. It's in effect.
Which you're not
if you want to go to court.
enforcing.
What?
You're not enforcing the actual
I don't have
ordinance.
that choice.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You're the police officer. You do. You're law enforcement.
If you break a law,
Okay, when they protest downtown, who gets locked up? Nobody, right? When they protest downtown, who gets locked up?
This is why we need press here.
We're
We need
downtown.
press here.
Anywhere downtown.
Not fake press.
You're not target. This is a
Let me
targeting of a
tell you what's
residence
happening.
before 9 o'clock.
Before 9 o'clock, so
That doesn't apply to downtown.
it doesn't apply to downtown.
Ordinance says $50
Unless there's a
fine,
house downtown, you're gonna
$150
protest.
fine.
There is houses down there. State house.
With the state house,
State house is the
where
state house.
somebody lives.
I don't know who lives in there. Somebody might
Nobody
live in
does
there.
live there.
You sure? Somebody's
I'm
in.
absolutely sure.
You sure nobody lives in there at all?
Nobody lives there.
Okay, we'll find out.
So yeah, go find out. That's an easy one.
All right, we'll do that. We'll check it out. Always gotta inquire.
You can always inquire.
I got another question. I don't know if you know the answer or not.
I don't have time for this.
You haven't-
It's not. If it's about the city ordinance.
No, it's about sergeants.
Sergeants pertaining to the city ordinance.
No, not even
And I'm
that.
not answering it. I don't have
Wow,
time.
you don't even want to answer that. Interesting.
Because we're dealing with the city ordinance here. And
Gotcha.
you want to start going way off in tangents about.
No, Sergeant. We're actually sticking to the ordinance that was passed, and you're not.
It's not.
Yes, it was.
It's
It says
9
$50
o'clock.
pass,
It's
$50
9
fine,
a.m.
$150 fine, and $300 fine.
Yeah,
Not a single
or
person was
Mass
fined
General Laws.
as
Mass
per
General
this
Laws
ordinance.
27259.
Which does not apply. It's for
it does.
drunkards. No, it's for drunken behavior in the
No,
street.
it's not. You're
People
wrong,
throwing
yeah.
around profanities.
No, it's not.
Nobody's doing
That's
that.
absolutely
This is
wrong.
political speech. That was
You're wrong.
protected speech.
You're very
You're
ignorant
wrong.
about that.
And that's why the judge had asked the prosecutor
Oh,
what
that's-
was the Commonwealth's position. And the prosecutor said the Commonwealth holds no position in release this woman. When you unlawfully
Well,
arrested
we'll do
for
it
the
again.
first time.
Right?
Right, because you don't care about the law. That's
I
why
do
you
care about
it
the law.
again.
I'm enforcing it.
No, because you get directions
Karina,
from the
enough.
legal department, and that's why you do it. That's exactly why you do it. No, because you get the whole thing somewhere upstairs.
Joe, I understand.
They tell you what to do.
It's all set, Joe.
There we go.
I know, Joe.
This is the lawlessness.
So I got a question. If somebody was preaching the Lord, would that be a violation of free speech too?
Exactly, I guess.
If somebody came out there holding the Bible, would that be a violation?
If people
Bible?
come and pray.
If somebody's come out here preaching the Lord, would that be a violation of the ordinance?
Praying is not.
No,
violation.
just somebody holding the Bible, reading the Bible.
Before 9
No,
a.m.,
why?
you might consider it
That
a
wouldn't be-
violation.
If you
wouldn't
came here to target the mayor, and that's part
How
of
do
your
you know who
views
we're
of
targeting?
protest.
Who do you know who? If people are praying, how do you know whom we're targeting?
That's true. You don't know who you're targeting.
We're praying for you.
The whole city
We're
is
praying
so-
for you, Sergeant. You have to be a little
I
more
could use
genuine.
a
Yeah.
little thing.
Because clearly all
So,
you're
so when you violate one right, you violate them all, basically.
Exactly.
So
And people do not understand what's happening because they're being constantly confused and misdirected.
or they're being lied to too.
Exactly.
They're being lied to.
People just see the form, they don't see the
Well,
actual
you can't pass an unlawful ordinance because you feel you're being targeted. Now, as long as no one's harming you, that's when you harm somebody, that's when you cross the line. But if you verbally speak, that's free speech.
Well, she probably feels harmed.
He target you as press or not being press. In reality, we all have the right to be press. We all have the freedom of press.
Exactly.
So he doesn't determine
Sergeant
who
wouldn't know
press
that because
is.
he doesn't care about the Constitution.
And there's no such thing as a press pass, just so you know. There's
Well,
no.
I want to have something.
You don't need
so
anything.
that, for example, I could get into an event, right?
Yeah, you
For
can do that. You
example,
can go
I
print one
want
up in your house if you want
Oh,
to.
good to know. See,
Yeah,
I didn't know that
just print it up in your
either.
house.
Yeah,
Just
we'll get
just make it look official. Put a logo on it. Put your name and tell them you're press.
I mean,
That's all
in
they
this
do.
crazy world,
There's
right?
no
I mean,
organization.
you might
There's
wanna
no
have-
government agency that gives out press passes. Just so you know, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
I
It's not
call
government,
I
it's
call
just
the
private-
state
it's
police. I
private.
call all the police departments. Nobody gives them out. They don't. There's no such thing as a press pass. If we have a right, then who's going to give us our right? But we have our right.
How would we know, right, of corruption going on if we didn't have access to actual
There you go.
source of where it's happening?
That's true. So I came down to document what's going on, and somebody had told me that they were going to violate free speech, and I guess they have.
Mr. Wu taking some secret footage. He's been.
Oh, he's taking footage?
Taking videos of small children at the parade.
Oh, that's what he.
Children's children,
That's what he does.
targeted groups, children,
Well,
and he thinks it's perfectly normal. And he intimidates mothers. I actually have it on tape.
You get on tape?
Where he came up this close, like right here. He was
Uh-huh.
standing, and he literally called her out by her name, told her to go back to where she lives. So essentially, like he literally
Wow.
separated himself from his wife at the parade to come this close to the protester and her child to intimidate her
Mm-hmm. Wow.
and take a picture of her child. For what?
it's
What is he
interesting.
doing?
Yeah, it's interesting.
This is all so bizarre.
Well,
It's not bizarre. It's corruption.
well, it is corruption.
Yeah,
No,
we
yeah,
should
that's
really
corruption. If the
Recognize
judge,
corruption when we see it.
well, the city of Boston is full of corruption.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They say if you want to find corruption, go to City Hall. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
I see you're a Marine.
He's not a Marine if you don't respect your rights.
For our rights to do this.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head up out of here. Just want to show you what's going on.
You fought for our right to do this. Thank you for your service. You fought for our rights to be able to do this. They can't do this in other countries. We can't redress our government.
I don't hear what you're saying. I don't give a shit.
People can't redress their government in other countries. They get taken
See,
into the
he said a good word. He said he don't give a shit. That means he don't care. He don't care what he has to say. Yeah, but see, he said something that's very important. He said he don't care. So if he doesn't care, that means he doesn't respect no one then. I mean, that's pretty much, like, you got to listen to somebody. You at least got to listen to what they got to say and listen to their side. Then you can arguably dispute it or whatever, but at least got to understand what the person is saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just quickly dismiss it.
Who they are.
Yeah, it's all about controlling power. That's what it is. Yeah. You can find us on YouTube, External Affairs Porter. It's going to be up there. No, I heard they were. It's probably going to where they go? E13 in probably West Roxbury Court. Yeah. Well, free speech is not a crime, so I know that for sure.
And you know they've conjoined.
You cannot. This is what the Supreme Court has ruled. You cannot turn a constitutionally protected activity into a crime.
Exactly.
Now, it is based on time, place, and manner. But if that's the case, then you have to do a lot more locking up all around the city of Boston.
Right.
And who determines the time, place, and manner? That's the other question.
Well, Michelle ruled herself. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's no permit involved. There's no process involved. And even if there was permit,
you don't need a permit to have a microphone. You don't need a permit. Now, if it's after hours, it could be considered disturbing the peace. But this is not. This is daytime. This is not really disturbing the peace. People should be up.
Construction could be done now.
Yeah. Anytime you can open up a jackhammer, you can speak.
Exactly.
And then there's more to it than that. But you know, the judges are going to kind of, you know, if they go against these people, then it's corruption for sure.
Oh, it's 100% corruption.
Yeah. So we'll find that.
You know, the judge asked the prosecutor last time. Literally, she said, "What's your position?" And the prosecutor said, "The Commonwealth of Massachusetts holds no position."
Right.
And the judge said, "What do you mean?" Because a woman is standing there in handcuffs and shackles,
right?
Who spent half her day literally in jail cell with her little child waiting for her.
Wow.
And so the prosecutor says, "Well, Your Honor, this is a civil ordinance.
Yeah.
You know, there's no criminal charge attached to it, so we leave it up to your discretion."
Right.
That's it. Right?
So the DA doesn't take it to charges, then the case should be dismissed.
Exactly. It was an unlawful arrest. It should be recognized as such. And honestly,
that's a lawsuit.
Exactly.
It's a major lawsuit.
And it's a taxpayer, right?
Yeah.
You know, funded the lawsuit. And Mayor Wu has no problem wasting taxpayers' money.
Oh yeah, she's proven that over and over again.
She literally, at some point, she had 17 officers right here.
I seen it. I did a video of it. I seen it.
Yeah. It's amazing how she's wasting people's money and she's deflecting from the issues, and she just keeps, you know, dressing them in nice words.
Right.
You know, she was talking about climate resilience yesterday. What about tyranny resilience, lady?
That's true.
Right? I mean, this is the major problem. Tyranny resilience, not climate resilience. And there's no open discourse about any of this, right? People are not getting informed consent, what it is that she's constantly pushing, right? And she just keeps promoting certain ideas, but there's no actual sit down to talk about pros and cons and have, you know, actual vigorous debate, right? And both sides of the, you know, the argument actually heard.
Well, that's what a good politician would do. Even if they disagree with you, just sit down and talk to you and see what you have to say.
Right, exactly.
I mean, just to see if they can kind of meet some medium, yeah. And that's what I would do. If I was a politician, I would sit down, whether I like it or not, have a respectful conversation with them, and see what we can iron out. We might not agree on everything, but at least come to some kind of medium. Yeah. That's what you normally would do. And she's a lawyer too, from Harvard. Imagine that.
Unfortunately, you know, I feel like they get trained how to find the loopholes and how to.
Well, yeah. We're not even gonna go there with that.
About the law or the Constitution.
Right.
They just learn how to protect themselves, basically.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
He's all over you. He wanted to bring you into it.
Well, because he admitted he knew her. He targeted her because he said he knew her.
That's another thing, right?
I don't care if you know God. That means you lock God up.
Right? That we are not following his, you know, his commands. That's one of the problems, right?
I tell you what, since I started recording, and I started recording from the very beginning, she was not part of the protest. She was just...
No, I was actually.
Well, not today you wasn't.
Today I wasn't, no.
And I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today you was not part of the protest.
Yeah, today I knew that this needed to be recorded, right? I didn't know if there were going to be other coverage.
But because you protest in the past, you cannot associate somebody with a crime in the past.
Exactly.
So see, he doesn't know the law.
But he doesn't want to know the law.
You know, he knows the law, but he don't care. That's the
Exactly. He doesn't
problem.
want to know. I go,
They're
acknowledge
taught to manipulate the law, just so you know. And I know, I might know more, I'm not going to say what I know. I might know more about police work than they know.
Yeah.
I know how they're trained and who trains them.
Exactly.
And trust me, they train them the wrong way.
And they're counting on you not knowing.
They're counting on you not knowing your law and understanding the law.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all about intimidation.
Yeah. Oh, intimidation.
Right? And they basically, actually, you know what? I called police department, E5. I called them 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and I said, look, I need to talk to somebody who's higher up than the sergeant, right? Because clearly an ordinance was passed with fine structure, right? Like $50 non
Right.
and it's not being enforced, and it's being conjoined with this other.
Know what you got to do?
What?
Call the Attorney General's office.
The Attorney General. Who's
I know they're corrupt too, but go to the Attorney General's office, then take it a step further if they don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
We'll talk more, but just take it those steps.
But do you know what you told me, right? I said, you guys are basically, ignoring the actual ordinance, which is unconstitutional to begin with, but let's just assume that it's good for now. So I said, and you can joining it with another MGL, Section 59, I think it's 272-59, which is basically for drunken behavior in the streets.
Right, that's a disorderly behavior, yeah.
Unhinged, right? They said that you can't equate protesting and political speech with unhinged drunken behavior.
Right, it's two different things.
And he says, look, it's above my pay grade, it's above the guy that you think you're going to talk to pay grade, right? He said, look, we tell you what our legal department tells us to tell you.
Wow.
Which means, right, that Michelle Wu's administration can be having very cozy little conversations with the legal department, and they basically give they throw these people under the bus.
They control the narrative, basically.
Right, but I mean, like, they're literally throwing the officers under the bus, right? Saying,
she's opening them up for a civil lawsuit.
Exactly.
And that's, she's setting them up, basically.
Exactly. And when they probably...
And they're so stupid, they should check with their superiors, find out if it's legal and lawful to do that.
Yeah, but the superiors might also be throwing them under the bus.
Well, they don't care. That's the problem.
Yeah, or they might be about to retire, right?
Well, see, the thing is, the good thing is that they're covered because they did it under the directions of the supervisor.
Yeah.
So the supervisor takes the blame for it. So he ordered them to do it. So now they can say, well, we were under, but that doesn't mean you have to do it either. Just because you ordered to do something unlawful don't mean you have to do it. Exactly. Like Hitler ordered people to be burned in the oven. That don't mean you have to burn them in the oven.
Exactly. Some people were hiding people, right?
Yeah.
Smuggling people.
Exactly.
Those,
just because it's an order doesn't mean it's a lawful order. And if you think it's not a lawful order, you don't have to obey it.
Yeah.
No.
So they're treating us like children. This is the problem, right? The mayor all of a sudden becomes everybody's mama.
Right.
He tells everybody what to do and when to do it and how to do it. You're a public servant, right?
You're
There's
right.
a big difference.
She took that office. Once you get that office, you cross. She's still inside. She didn't come out.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna head up out of here. But the full footage is gonna be on YouTube, External Affairs Porter.
I'll find you.
You'll find it. All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna head up out of here. Get you guys on the next one.
Getting the report for a mail.